you've obviously long admired Anderson Silva, and you said yourself you were going to win this fight all week, but now that is a reality. What are the emotions now that you've defeated one of your childhood heroes?
It's surreal. I don't think it'll hit me until like a couple weeks from now. I feel like I'm living in a movie. You know, he was the one that told me I could accomplish anything if I set my mind to it. You couldn't have written this in a story. It feels like a movie. And just being in the ring with him, seeing his heart, you know, his courage, his bravery. That's the champion that I looked up to, and he's such an inspiration. And you know, I had to go in there and match his heart tonight. A heart that I saw through the TV screen when I was a kid. So it just surreal and doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
And that punch that dropped him, you said after when you knocked out Tyron Woodley, you saw him, you were trying to catch that punch, and then you came over the top and dropped him. So when you did drop Anderson, was that an opening you knew you could take advantage of it?
I mean, we were throwing shots all night, and that one just caught him off guard when he was coming up. So really, like, we were just throwing, and he was taking harder shots than that. That wasn't even the hardest punch of the night. It was obviously just the timing. I was just surprised by his toughness because I was dropping sparring partners all camp with those shots to the body and shots to the head. He's built different. You know, the guy's fought through broken bones and all sorts of stuff. So to beat someone like that, you got to dig deep, and that's what I did tonight.
Hey Jake, Penny Buffington from MMA Fight Coverage. I'm trying to come up with the words to express how impressed I am with you. Absolutely amazing what you have done coming from the YouTube days, and now we're on Showtime Sports. The whole entire event is because of you, Jake Paul, and I'm beyond impressed with that. I'm kind of picturing what it's like for you to choose your next opponent. It's like the Jake Paul lottery. Who's going to win next? Who gets to fight you? Are you bombarded with requests to fight? And how do you handle that? How do you go through that list of...
Yeah, look, I think this fight did two things. It'll make a much higher level people want to fight me, and it'll make the ones who are already scared, you know, like we saw earlier this year, they're not going to want to fight me. So we'll see. That, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of names. I haven't even gone on Twitter yet to look at everything and all the call-outs, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot. And it's back to the drawing board, and we'll see who it is. But you know, Nate Diaz was here acting like a bitch. Everyone wants that fight. He tried to fight people in the hallway. You know, Nate, stop fighting people for free. Let's do it in the ring, okay? I know you're a little slow, buddy, but it's okay. We can make that fight happen. And you too, Canelo. You're getting old. You looked weird against Triple G. I still want that fight as well. And I think now, like I said it 18 months ago, I want Canelo. And then I was sitting in a room just like this, and everyone was like, oh, fucking idiot. And then now, 18 months later, here we are. And when I say that, maybe people are taking it a little bit more seriously now, and I still mean it, and I still want that fight.
Are you the one that strictly makes those decisions? Are you the one that's actually powering through those requests and choosing? Do you actually have someone in your mind that you kind of want and you go for, or do you go through those requests?
All of the above, and it just, you know, who makes sense at the right time and who actually wants to do it and who will actually show up and be a professional and make weight. But it is who I want, you know. Even people on my team, my coaches and stuff, were like, well, are you sure you want Anderson? Are you sure? And I was like, yes, I can do this.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
My God.
Good job.
Thank you.
So, I just try to speak in English now. So, the Jake is better than me today because I try to put in my game inside and my whole strategy, and that's I talk to my coach in the room. You know, I don't don't found my distance, and I fail in my strategy, and Jake's better than me today. That's it.
E agora, futuro, assim, como você se vê, o que você quer fazer? Porque você é um cara que é super inquieto, a gente sabe que você...
Ah, não consigo parar não, filha. Não dá. I can't stop. Ask me about you stop or not, I can't stop.
A gente pode te ver no ringue.
Ah, com certeza. Yes, for sure.
Anderson, actually, I mean, when you look at the punch stats, you landed more power punches on him. It seemed as if, you know, from watching the fight, for some of us anyway, that you were outboxing him. Did you feel like the scorecards were favoring you as you went into that final round, honestly?
Wow, you know, I failed in the strategy, you know, in the last round, the Jake take the good punch, you know, and my base is not correct, you know, that's my coach saying, my base is not correct, and that's I take the punch. But I don't feel knockout, I don't feel power, but I'm not in good balance, and that's I take the punch. Of course, I have a more experience, and I doing this a lot, and this is happening with me again, one more time, you know. The last time it happened to me when I fight with, I forgot the name, the guy in UFC.
Ryan Hall.
No.
Tito.
Yeah, Ryan Hall, yeah, Ryan. I fell 2 times in that situation, you know, and that's I just talked to my coach, I don't believe it, because I training hard for don't do the same stupid position, you know. But I'm human, I'm superhero, but sometimes my half human fail. Yeah.
And Jake talked you into joining him in this bet of, you know, trying to create a UFC union, so to speak.
That's the truth.
How committed to that are you?
It's not a UFC unit. It's a unit for help and doing something better for MMA fighters, you know. And I think Jake and I can do something huge for help this new generation, you know.
Congrats on the win tonight, man. You mentioned Nate Diaz, and we've seen video already of this incident. It seemed like he slapped a member of your team. It's hard to tell. Can you elaborate on what happened?
I haven't seen the video, and I didn't really know what happened. I just know there was an altercation with my team.
Jake wasn't even aware of the altercation before the fight.
Yeah, I was focused on what was going on, but I was made aware of it afterwards, and it's you know, typical of him. That's what he likes to do. He's a street gangster. He likes to act tough, and he's really not. Like, why are you trying to beat someone up in the hallway, bro?
I mean, speaking of the MMA community, you and the MMA community have a very interesting relationship, you know, over these last few years. You just beat a genuine legend of the sport, probably one of the greatest fighters of all time. Like, how do you feel like, is this the win, do you think, that will get you the respect of that community?
I think it has to. You know, I want to watch the fight back, but, you know, people were just saying it was a really good fight, a brawl, a war, of awesome back and forth. And so I think people will respect my game. I showed different parts of my arsenal, you know, defense, all of that, fighting on the inside with a legend who's really good at fighting on the inside. I think this fight definitely has to gain me some respect, you know, and I'm only 2.5 years in, so this is just the start. I'm just getting warmed up with what I can accomplish, and this is the first fight in my career where, like, I felt comfortable in the ring, right? And to just think about it, no one 5 fights in is fighting 8-round fights. No one, you know, they build them up 4 rounds, 6 rounds. I mean, Tommy Fury is still fighting 6-round fights, right? And he grew up his whole entire life doing this sport, right? His brother's the heavyweight champion of the world. My brother and I are fucking from YouTube. So I'm doing something that no one's ever done before, and I'm just learning my bearings in the ring, but we'll see what happens after this.
You spoke in Portuguese. I couldn't understand exactly everything, but when asked about a potential rematch with Jake Paul, it was a very, very competitive fight. Some people thought you were winning before the 8th round. Is a rematch something that interests you? Is that something that you'd be open for?
The rematch, I respond to the Brazilian guy now. You know, I think it's very important that people respect the moment, the Jake's moment now. I'm Black Samurai, you know. I know I lost. I know I failed in my whole strategy, and my opponent to win, and I need to respect that. I'm not the same the other guys fight with Jake, you know, oh, I need revenge, I need a rematch. I don't know. Let's go see what happened, you know, and maybe, I don't know.
And you mentioned inside of the ring that you're absolutely going to continue. There's no doubt about that. So what is next for you? If you can, I know we're just fresh off the fight, but if you can look in the future, what do you think is next? What things do you want to get accomplished before you?
Well, my next challenge for myself is I go to the Jiu-Jitsu tournament in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, and we'll see. I just go back home and start. I go to visit my parents in Brazil, and I go start training with my coach, Ricardo de la Riva, and I go to Dubai for continue my training with Ramon Lemos, and training to the new tournament in Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
The MMA community may love you, but do you have a message for Dana White? Because he was very critical of you taking this particular fight with Anderson Silva.
Yes, sir.
Dana?
Yeah.
Dana? Dana?
What?
Bro, you said I wouldn't do this, and I did it, and with flying colors. But, you know, he's in hiding. You know, he's trying to do everything he can to stop my run, to sabotage my fights. He hates me. He hates me. He hates what I'm doing. He hates I'm exposing his business. And now, you know, we're going to band together and create a United Fighters Association to help UFC fighters, all MMA fighters, and boxers to get more fighter pay, long-term health care. And that's a big, big undertaking that I've been wanting to do for the whole entire time of my career since I met Nikisa. I said it to him on the first day. I want to make a fighters union. So, man, Dana White can suck this dick.
Jake, Michelle Joy Phelps with Behind the Gloves, right back here, sorry. When you first started, obviously you started fighting other YouTubers. They still seem to be looming, as in like wanting to still call you out. There have been various names that have been mentioned, even from yourself, but as you're trying to edge towards, like you said, being a world champion, is that sort of becoming further and further away from you and making those type of fights as opposed to continuing to fight other combat fighters?
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think any of the influencers will fight me or want to fight me. I've said that since, you know, a year ago, but especially now. And, you know, if someone makes sense, like a big name in the space, then maybe we can do something. But I want to fight big names. I want to fight boxers. I want to fight anyone who's going to give me a challenge where fans will be like, I don't know who's going to win this fight. Those are the fights I like to make, and that was exactly what we did here. I think the fight could have gone either way. There was ways where he could win, and there's ways where I could win.
Hey Jake, right over here. Yep. I just have to ask, because your brother was here in Logan. What did he tell you, and what are you going to tell him for his Roman Reigns WWE fight? Did he inspire each other from tonight?
Yeah, man, he gave me a speech in the locker room. I love that man so much, and he just put it all in perspective as to what we are accomplishing together. And it's so amazing to have a partner in crime. The kid's a genius. He's such a kind person. I look up to him. He makes me a better person. He inspires me every day. And I can't believe next weekend he's going to take on another massive, massive name in combat sports in the WWE Championship. It's surreal what we're building. I think we might be the new Kardashians. Hey,
Thank you, everyone.
who's gonna? Never mind.
Jake, you gotta say it now. Jake, real quick. You have Jake. You have got your hat. You have got your cheeks. What do you have for Anderson Silva? Really quick, just.
I got respect for him.
Oh, thank you. Can we do one picture?
How about the crowd?
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations to both of you, man. How about just Phoenix as a fight city and the host and the crowd?
It was turned.